Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this, another episode of 10 years ago. Now I know there's a lot of you, and I mean a lot of you, been looking forward to this edition of the show, because tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to, of course, be covering this show, WrestleMania 17 or X7 from the WWF. Many people, and I am one of those people, call this one the greatest pay-per-view there's ever been. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, before we get on, Buyrate for this one, a 2.18, actually down from WrestleMania 2000, but still a ridiculous number. I'm sure you'll agree. So, let's get on with it, shall we? Because, actually, before I go on, what I'll just say is, excuse me, I've got a lot to say about this show. Obviously, it's my favourite ever show. So yeah, this review might be a long one. I don't look, obviously, because also I'm recording this now, I don't know what that timer down there says, but I'm expecting a half an hour vid, alright? So there's your warning in advance, alright? So the opening contest, Chris Jericho versus William Regal in a really good match to retain... Sorry, Chris Jericho defeats William Regal in a really good match to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Who can forget the build to this one? I know that you all remember this one. Chris Jericho takes a whiz in William Regal's teapot, and William Regal drinks the tea. Also, Jericho dresses up as Doink to attack Regal, which was always a classic moment. Regal worked over Jericho with the Regal stretch on the SmackDown, I think it was, before WrestleMania, so he had an injured shoulder. Would that play into this match? So, Jericho controls the start with a pair of lariats and a leg lariat. He follows with a crossbody to the outside and an elbow off the top for two. They hit counter moves until Regal whips Jericho's shoulder first, twice into the ring post. You see, straight away, there's some nice psychology for you. Oh, yes. Apparently, I bum psychology. I've been told by a hater recently. I love how you bum psychology was a thing I sort of said. I was told, sorry. Yeah, without psychology, wrestling is pointless. But, you know, a lot of people don't seem to give a fuck about psychology anymore, so maybe it's just me. Anyway, Regal works the shoulder, including arm wringer and a nice hammerlock. Lion Salt fails. German gets two for Regal, who takes a turnbuckle pad off and rams the shoulder into the ring post. Yay! Brilliant. Jericho with a pair of enziguris and a missile dropkick for two. He tries a crossbody in the corner, but it's turnbuckle shoulder first. Genius. Regal with a super butterfly suplex for two, and you don't see many of those, do you? Wars is countered as the left shoulder gives out. Brilliant storytelling, just brilliant. Regal stretch is amazing because it's on the left shoulder, you know, it's all good. Not the most inventive names, is it, the Regal stretch, but you know, yeah, we'll go with that. Jericho gets to the ropes. He rams Regal's head into the exposed turnbuckle, bulldog, suplex, lion salt for the win. Really did love the psychology of this one. Two things about this one though, but knock it down a bit. The first one is it's not the longest of matches. 2 or 3 more minutes added to this one would have think. And I've got to be honest, I was stunned that Jericho retained, because working with the injury, with the opening contest, I was fully expecting Regal to win this one. But you know, no problem with that at all. Backstage, Shane McMahon is seen arriving in his WCW limo, and in their little makeshift office, Bradshaw is seen pumping up Jacqueline and Farouk about how all the things that have happened in Texas that I don't give a fuck about. Next, Tazz and the APA defeated the Right to Censor in a crap match. Jackie DDT Stephen Richards before the bell. Stephen Richards is in the match, neither is Jackie, but that's nice, isn't it? Bull and Farouk start with Bull hitting a top rope clothesline. You know, Bull Buchanen, we always said, haven't we, that he was, you know, surprisingly agile for a man of his size. Farouk responds with a power slam, Tazz in, and everything that he does looks bollocks, right? Now, I wrote my notes here, but I've been told since I wrote my notes for this match that Tazz suffered a concussion pretty early on in this one, which is why when he gets Irish whipped into the ropes, for example, and basically staggers chest first into the second rope, then bounces back. So it's a hard one to cook. So on the one hand, you want to say Tazz botches everything he does, but on the other hand, if he has got a legitimate concussion, you're like, well, that would explain why he botches everything he does, would it not? He gets owned by the Godfather, including a backdrop suplex for two. Hot tag to Bradshaw, who cleans house, including a fall-away slam to Val. He and Farouk hit a double spine buster, then a super back suplex on Val by Bradshaw. The Goodfather gets a bit of a comeback, starts to try and do the hoe train, that misses. Bradshaw hits him with a clothesline from hell for the win. It's a half-a-star match, if that, and that is if you're a nice guy, because this isn't very good at all. But other than the women's match, this is the worst match on the show, I guarantee you that. Backstage, Trish and Stephanie plan the celebrations for when Vince McMahon wins. Linda sits comatose, and it has to be said that in all the build-up for the Vince versus Shane match, yeah, Linda McMahon has been sat comatose, and it's the best acting she's ever done. It really is, and that's not being harsh to her. It's just she has to sit there and look vacant. Doesn't have to deliver any lines, doesn't have to take any moves. Brilliant, perfect role for someone whose acting abilities are as bad as Linda McMahon's. Next, Kane defeated Big Show and Raven in a funny triple threat match to win the Hardcore Championship. Now, I reviewed this show on episode 62 of Shooting from the Horse's Mouth. Can you remember when that was? Anyone? I want to have a hazard guess at the back? No, you're all wrong. It was in June of 2007. 4 years ago, I reviewed this show. And I was really harsh on this show because I kept calling it farcical and things like that. Watching it this time, every time I watched it subsequently, I've got to say this match is brilliant. If nothing else but for the pure comedy that goes into this match, it really is. Raven has a trolley full of goodies, and Kane has the black mask, which I absolutely adore. It's the same mask that Flaming P wears in the IWF. So, classic line from Paul, who says that Kane scares the hell out of me, and I am a fearless man. I fucking love that. But I've got to say, on commentary, I'll just say this now, right? On commentary, in this whole show, Paul Heyman is fucking brilliant. Say what you like about Paul Heyman, yeah? And this show, Jim Ross and Paul Heyman, their commentary, the way they bounce off each other is just top notch. Anyway, Kane owns Raven at the start and then tosses him onto Big Show on the outside. Kane comes off the top onto them both. They brawl through the crowd and go backstage, where Raven hits Kane with a few times with a sign, but then throws him into gets thrown into a wall, and that leaves a dent, which is amazing. Show chases Raven and locks him in a cage, and then one of those bits, this is what I was talking about being funny, yeah? Kane goes up to the cage, and I don't know if he's meant to struggle with it for ages, but the first time he pulls this door, yeah, the door just comes off in his hand, and you're just like, wow, that's crazy. Now, question for you. Was this a little bit of continuity? And what I mean by that is, you remember Hell in a Cell in 1997, Kane came along and ripped the door off, and you're just like, maybe it was a throwback to that. Or it was a complete botch. Who knows? That's the question for you. Weapon shots aplenty, including Raven choking Kane with a hose, and then vice versa, Kane choking Raven with a hose. Biggest pop of the match so far occurs when Kane has got the hose around Raven's neck and basically picks him up with the hose and launches him through a window. Now, I'm pretty certain this is a sugar glass window when you first see it, but a couple of minutes later you see Raven, and where his left arm, he goes through it like this, so his left arm goes through the glass, and you see that Raven's covered in blood up the top of his left arm, so maybe it's a real window. I can't tell you, I'm afraid. Big Show and Kane, they fight into a room where it looks like they're going to do a choke slam on each other, but they end up crashing through a wall, and it could be an impressive spot if the wall didn't look like it was made of cardboard. Seriously, the cardboard on this box of Cheerios is thicker than that wall, or it certainly fucking looks like it, so what would have been an impressive spot isn't. But no, there's more madness to come yet, as Raven gets on a golf cart, tries to escape, but Big Slow gets on the back and Raven crashes the car. Next cut, is Kane getting on a golf cart of his own with the referee on the back. They go charging off, Raven falls over and Kane runs over Raven's leg. Fantastic. Was that meant to happen? I don't know. Am I glad it happened? Oh, fuck yes, because it's hilarious. They brawl to the top of the entrance ramp, yeah? Big Show picks up Raven. It looks like in a real press slam, but Kane kicks Big Show in the face, so they both fall off the stage onto this big padded area, which looks ridiculous because it's full of pads. Then Kane does a leg drop, which must have missed Big Show and or Raven by at least a couple of feet. And the referee counts the pin on the side of the stage. 1, 2, 3. Kane is your new hardcore champion. Like I say, this match is pure comedy. Now, I'm sure the comedy in this show was meant to come, from the Gimmick Battle Royale. But I love this match because of how funny it is. I've given it 2 stars. I really have, and the reason for that is because it just makes me laugh. Angle gets serious backstage, saying that he didn't never tap out to Benoit. Jimmy Snooker is at Wwf New York. Some Australian girl. They mentioned that how far everyone's come, and they mentioned that this girl's flown from Australia, and she makes herself and her nation look like complete retards. It has to be said. Next, really good match as Eddie Guerrero defeats Tazz in a good match to win the European Championship. So Tazz starts off with a flapjack and a superb powerbomb for 2. After a brief ball on the outside, Tazz hits Snake Eyes for 2. He goes up top. Eddie attempts a Rana, but Tazz won't budge. He hits a nice elbow off the top, tries a big boot, and then in one of those moments that I still to this day don't know if it was planned or whether it was just complete botch, Tazz gets his leg caught in the top rope, so he's basically hanging upside down on the outside, which has got to be pretty scary with his leg trapped in the thing. And the reason why I think this is a botch is because the ref and Eddie Guerrero sort of look at each other like, oh shit, what do we do now? Eddie, because he's a fucking god, improvises, and because of course he's a heel, he goes, well, I know what I'm going to do. He basically gets on the second rope, and stands on Tazz's balls. And you're just like, well, that's just brilliant. It really, really is. Anyway, Eddie starts to work again. Then this is the thing. This is why I don't. The flip side of that is that this was planned because Eddie Guerrero then starts to work Tazz's leg and ankle, which so you're just like, it's a shin breaker, various stomps, puts the leg on the ropes and stomps on it. Sleeper by Eddie, but for reasons unknown, Eddie breaks it up. The crowd though are completely dead though, but they come alive when Tazz hits a lovely tilt-a-whirl slam followed by one of the best things I've ever seen Tazz do. He hits a helicopter powerbomb and you're just like, ooh, that is tasty. That gets 2 for Tazz. Eddie goes low and distracts the referee, allowing Perry Saturn to hit them right. And this is Paul Heyman's name for it, not mine, right? He hits the moss-covered 3-handle family credenza, which is basically a spinning neck breaker, alright? Eddie with a suplex that JR calls a brainbuster. Frog splash misses, pump handle slam, but Perry is there to distract the referee. Sorry, he's there to distract Tazz. Cover gets 2. Big boot for Perry, a big boot for Eddie, but Dean Malenko is there. He breaks up the cover. Perry gives Eddie the European title, and we get to see the belt shot of doom for the win. Match was so much better than it had any right to be. This match was made 6 days before the card. It was meant to be, I'm sure they just threw it out to be a filler match. But to me, honestly, this is a 3-star match. It's fucking great. Other than that one little moment with Tazz getting his boot trapped in the ropes, I love this match, I really do. Backstage, Mick Foley says he'll be an impartial referee, and he's going to do it right here in Houston, Texas. The classic cheap pop. And Austin arrives, which is one of those things that I've never liked about wrestling pay-per-views, or or Raw, or SmackDown, or anything. Why would you see a wrestler arriving halfway through the show? Surely he should be there when the show starts. And of course, if you know anything about about wrestling, they have to be there hours in advance. I don't understand what it achieves by showing a wrestler arriving, other than a chance to show that wrestler on screen. How long have I been blabbing for? Fucking hell, for 10 minutes. Give me a second. Next, Kurt Angle defeats Chris Benoit in a superb match. Why did this one happen? This one happened because of something that should happen more often in wrestling. Excuse me. Kurt Angle comes out on Raw and he says, hey, I haven't got an opponent for WrestleMania. Chris Benoit comes out and goes, neither have I. So they're going to fight at WrestleMania. Fantastic. These guys, you got to remember, these guys are trained. They're not trained. Well, they are trained. These guys are paid wrestlers. They don't have to all the time be feuding with someone. They could. At the end of the day, it's like you fight him, do it. It sometimes can't be as simple as that. These two, that's exactly what they're fighting for. Of course, they added more to it, of course, with the ankle lock and the cripple crossface. But the essential bog standard was you fight, done. So Oh yeah, before I go on later editions of this show, of course, I've got the on the night one, the double pack, but on later edition, if you buy this now, this match isn't on it because of course Chris Benoit didn't exist to WWE anymore. But that's fucking lame. Anyway, they do some lovely mat work to start off, and the crowd, to their credit, absolutely love it. They break it up, the crowd go mental, so they do it again and again. Once they break apart after this lovely wrestling sequence on the mat, the crowd really show their appreciation. Now, if I was Vince McMahon, I would have been listening going, maybe we should start doing more of that. But no, nothing ever came of it, unfortunately. They stay on the ground, but both try their submission moves with a deafening angle sucks chant. Crossface attempt, but Angle's to the ropes. Second one, Angle bails. The third one, Angle gets to the ropes again. And then Angle gets vexed and punches Benoit, which is absolutely superb. I love that. Brawl on the outside, including Angle whipping Benoit into the steps. Suplex gets 2 for Angle, as does a belly-to-back suplex. These are inside, by the way, not on the outside, because that would just be mad, wouldn't it? Benoit fires some chops, and Angle hits a sweet belly-to-belly and then a second one. Benoit gets 2 off an elbow and a snap suplex. Superplex gets 2 for him as well. Triples Germans by Benoit, but the third one is countered into the ankle lock, which Benoit counters into one of his own. Crossface, but Angle counters into the crossface of his own. Referee gets bumped, and that's one of the reasons why this match isn't as rated as high as it could be, I'm afraid. And now I've lost my place. Crossface, Angle taps it, of course, on the referee. Benoit wakes the ref up and eats an angle slam, but that only gets 2. Say it with me loud and proud, ladies and gentlemen. The arm-breaking moonsault of doom hits the knees. Damn it. Diving headbutts gets 2 for Benoit. Roll up with the tights for the win. And I was loving this match, but that finish vexed me off. It really does. Take away the ref bump, take away that finish, and you have a 4-star match. But unfortunately, because of those 2 little things, I'm kind of a nitpicking kind of guy. It's only a 3.5-star match. I've rated this higher in the past, but those 2 things really hurt this match, in my opinion. But it's still a brilliant match. And the weird thing is, do you know what the really weird thing about this is? Is that these 2 were so talented that, in my humble opinion, this is the worst match they had. Yeah, seriously, later on in the years to come in 2002 and 2003, these 2 had way better matches than this one. That's what I think anyway. Backstage, Kamala destroys Regal's office, which gives us one of the best lines I've ever heard, which is Regal going to do is, bugger off, but he wants me to what? He wants me to rub the moons on his belly? Still makes me laugh just thinking about it. We see a WrestleMania pep rally at some army base, including some bits where the superstars try to be funny, and I swear to God, it's about as funny as Toothache. It really is one of those. It's one of those. Oh, thank God I've got this on fucking video or DVD because you can just skip straight through it. Oh yes. Chyna defeats Ivory to win the women's championship in a shit match, worst match on the night. The only good thing that you can say about this match, honestly, is Ivory starts off, by working the neck of Chyna for like the first minute of this match, which is 3 minutes long. Excuse me. Ivory works the neck, which has got a little bit of continuity, a bit of storytelling, because of course, the Right to Censor have done the spike pile driver on Chyna and broke her neck. The rest of this match is pure bollocks. Powerbomb by Chyna, but she pulls up Ivory at 2. Press slam and a relaxed cover. And when I say relaxed cover, she basically lies down on top of it with a big smile on her face. Pathetic match, absolutely shockingly bad. And it's literally this match. If you took this match off the card, you would have a perfect show. That's just a fact. Once again, another perfect show spoiled by the women's match. Anyway, backstage, Vince says to Idiot Cole that if you want shocking, tonight you'll get shocking. Woo! So, next, Shane McMahon defeats Vince McMahon in a great street fight. Long backstory to this one. This was the culmination of so many storylines. You've got Vince was riding Trish Stratus. He had his wife sedated and put in a hospital asylum thingy. Shane wants to defend his mom's honour. He buys Vince McMahon on the last Nitro, which I'm sure you saw my review of, to piss Vince off. Mick Foley was the commissioner, was fired by Vince, but just on the night before he was fired, he signed loads of contracts, one of which was to guest referee any WrestleMania match he chooses. He chose this one. It's all loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of storylines, all culminating in this one match. Alright? So, Shane McMahon comes out and he says, I want to give some props to my newfound friends, the new superstars, the superstars of WCW. The WCW guys, they're not in the front row, so they're on fucking camera. Oh no, they're up in the fucking gods in one of the skyboxes, and you can barely make them out. They do a close-up and you can see Stacy Keibler and you can see, let me think, Sean Stasiak's one of the guys you can make out. But they're just like, oh come on, if you want to see these guys properly, you put them in the front row. Come on, really? Anyway, so Vince stiffs Shane a few times to start, causing Shane's eye to swell up. They look good, but then Vince gets Shane in the corner and does some knees to him. They look shite. Utterly shite. A spear and some elbows. Steph gets in the ring and she slaps Shane. Baseball slide by Shane. They brawl on the outside. Shane owns Vince with a sign and a cable. He finds a kendo stick under the ring and, well, let's be honest, he owns him with that as well. Preps the Spanish announce table and puts Vince on it. He gets back in the ring, climbs up to the top, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, this is going to be dope. But as he's in midair trying to do the elbow, Stephanie pulls Vince McMahon out of the way. So Shane, I was going to say Steph then, Shane crashes and burns. Good start. Trish, see, I can do this without the notes. I know this show so well. Literally, my notes for this show, honestly, they wrote themselves. They really did. It was so easy to write. Because I know the show so well, I was writing the 5 moves in advance, Trish Stratus comes down, she wheels Linda to the ring, right? She helps Vince up, she's like, are you alright, baby, you alright? And then goes, BAM! And whacks the shit out of him. So next thing you know, in the middle of the ring, you've got Trish and Steph having a fucking cat fight rolling around, getting a huge pop. Because remember, of course, at No Way Out, these two girls had a really good match. Basically, it's one of these things that's just pure comedy, is that while Trish Stratus is on top and she's wailing on Steph, Mick Foley's in the ring and he's just sat there watching it, But when Stephanie gets in control, Mick Foley comes up and picks her up and fucking carries her away. So she fucking slaps Mick. So then Trish Stratus and then Mick Foley chase Stephanie up the ring. Shane McMahon, of course, is out, and Vince McMahon's just starting to recover. He looks up and, of course, he sees Linda. He goes, you bitch. And JR's like, did he just call her a bitch? And Paul Heyman's like, whoa, it's fucking brilliant. Mick Foley comes down to stop Vince doing anything to Linda. So he starts to wheel Linda away, and what happens is Vince McMahon gets a chair and boom, to the back of the head. Nasty, nasty chair shot, So Vince then picks up Linda and puts her in the ring on top of a chair, goes and grabs Shane, puts him in the ring, throws 4 trash cans into the ring, gets one of the trash cans, starts whacking on Shane, and after every hit he's going back to Linda and taunting her, and it's brilliant. He sat there, whack, you like that, where's some more? Whack, and then quack. So then he goes to do it, one last shot, and Shane's like, and what of course happened, the crowd's gone ballistic, not for the first time tonight, because Linda's stood up. Vince turns around, he's got this lock of shock on his face, opens his legs a little bit, Linda kicks him in the bollocks. That gets a massive pop. That pop keeps going because at that moment, Mick Foley gets back in the ring and batters Vince, putting him in the corner and does the running knee into the corner. Vince is dead now at this point, he's completely out cold, but that's not the end of the match because Shane gets one of the trash cans, puts it on Vince, coast to coast. Van Terminator by Shane McMahon, and that gets the 1, 2, 3. Superb match. It's overbooked to hell. I mean, it really is as overbooked as you can get, but listen to this. Overbooked plus great fucking spots equals a 3.5-star match in my opinion. I love this match. It's absolutely brilliant. It really is a fantastic match, and to this day I still enjoy watching it. And like I said, you've seen that, I barely have to touch my notes because I know that match inside out. I really do. Anyway, bear with me a second. Oh god damn, we have been talking for a long time. Still only halfway through this show. Did say it was going to be long. Next is TLC 2 as Edge and Christian defeated the Dudley Boyz and the Hardy Boyz in a stellar TLC match. This is the first 5-star match of the night. So here we go, let's get on with the spots because that's what this one is. This is spot. So How many pages of notes have we got here? We've got a whole page and a half. So, big deep breath. Come on. Edge and Christian get owned at the start, including a flapjack on Christian, poetry in motion for the Dudley boys, but Edge and Christian wipe them out with a ladder. They follow up by standing on Matt's balls. Then they literally do. They put Matt Hardy in the tree of woe and stand on his testicles. Evil spot, isn't it? Just because they can. They follow that with a drop toe hold on a chair on Jeff. Matt tries to climb but gets clotheslined off the ladder by Edge. Jeff dropkicks Edge off the ladder. Hardy's dropkick a ladder into the Dudley boys, and then Omega off the ladders onto Christian. What's up? Drop on Edge. Devon gets the tables. Edge gets put on one by Bubba. Jeff Hardy starts attacking Bubba. So Jeff, it's such a good moment. Bubba picks him up and powerbombs him onto the table, which of course has got Edge on it. Poor bastard. Edge gets the full weight of Jeff on top of him. Superb. I really like that. I really do. On the outside, the Dudleys set up a table. They don't set up one table. No, they don't. They set up 4 tables on the outside. So, of course, you're thinking to yourself at that moment, something big's going through those. You know, something big is going to happen there. So, like, yay! We're going to see a fucking huge... Because, right, the logical part of you, when it comes to pro wrestling, thinks to yourself, why the fuck are you doing that? Why aren't you going for the belts? But the mark inside is going, yay! Someone's going through the tables. Yes! It's that kind of match. It really is. 3 ladders are set up in the ring and all 6 men climb, and then of course all 6 men crash and burn. Christian takes the worst bump of the lot of them because his ladder falls off. I think he's meant to land on the ropes, but he goes straight to the outside. Nasty bump. Edge starts to climb, but then Spike Dudley comes out, stops him with an acid drop. He then does one to Christian, which involves him going over the top rope and crashing arse first through a table, which Christian had conveniently set up on the outside. No problem with that whatsoever. I really promise you I don't. Rhino comes out. He gores Matt Hardy through a table. Lisa comes out. She hits a sweet Hurricane Rana on Rhino. Spike chairs Rhino, who pushes Edge's ladder over. Dudley device on Rhino. Lisa gets a huge chair shot on Spike. And then another one, yeah, there's so many moments in this match, yeah. Another one that stands out, yeah, she takes her top off, of course, which gets a huge pop, and she sat there fucking giving it to fucking Spike Dudley. She turns around and gets 3D. It's like, yes, get the fuck down. She took it perfectly. Retump face, and you're just like, that's amazing. Jeff gets out his big ass ladder of doom. Puts Rhino and Spike Dudley on tables, and then does a breathtaking swanton bomb off the ladder through the fucking tables. It's one of those spots that looks alright. It would look better, right? Because you only get right. Imagine you've got 2 tables, yeah. You got Rhino here, Spike Dudley there, yeah. His swanton comes down and hits this table. So basically, the table breaks, and Rhino ends up falling on top of Spike Dudley. So it was a little tiny bit of a botch, but you know we can. Christian and Devon both dangle on the belts, but both fall off. Jeff tries to walk across the 4 ladders, but Bubba pushes the ladder out, so he's left hanging in there. And in one of the best bumps that I've ever seen, I'm sure you'll agree, Edge jumps off the big ass ladder of doom, spears him in midair and slams into the mat. A breathtaking spot. And you think to yourself, well, that's it now, right? Just climb the fucking ladder, game over. But that's not enough. No. Because Buyrate Dudley and Matt Hardy climb the big ass ladder of doom, and Rhino pushes the ladder over. Matt Hardy and Buyrate Dudley go through the 4 tables. They're on the outside, which is just fucking brilliant. Rhino puts Christian on his shoulders, climbs up the ladder. Christian grabs the belt. And that is that. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you don't have to agree. I have to ask. That's a 5-star match. It's absolutely brilliant. I didn't think that they could top the TLC match that they had at SummerSlam 2000, but they did. It really. The thing is, it's a good. Yeah, I reckon as a standalone match, yeah, it's as good as the first TLC match. Yeah. The thing that makes it different is the inclusion of Spike Dudley and Lisa and Rhino. They really, shake things up and just make it a better match, in my opinion. So that's that. We get to see fan access, which is always a good thing until you see the guys from Liverpool, who I'm sorry if you're a Scouser. I know I'm a Liverpool fan. This is the crazy thing. I can't stand the Scouse accent. I don't understand a word they're saying. So you see these 2 guys who make tits of themselves. The Fink announces the attendance, which is 67,925 fans, which no matter how you cut it, that's fucking incredible. There's the Gimmick Battle Royale, which is, I'm sure is meant to be the comedy. It's, you know, I don't, you know, Battle Royale shouldn't be rated because, you know, they're not proper matches. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. Iron Sheik wins because he's the only one who can't take a bump to the, to the floor. That's what I've been told. That I'm just relaying that one. But we'll go on. We've got 2 matches to go and they're both brilliant. As The Undertaker defeats Triple H in a great match. Really good, this one. Motorhead played Triple H to the ring. And I remember clear as day on the night turning to my mates and saying, wouldn't it be awesome if Limp Bizkit then played Undertaker to the ring? You know, but no. We'd have to wait till WrestleMania 19 to see Limp Bizkit playing Undertaker to the ring. So, Brawl on the outside to start with Triple H going through the makeshift Spanish announce table. They put just a standard wooden table with the monitors on, and Triple H basically gets backdropped onto it in the first move of the match. You're just like, oh, I pity the Spanish guys, I really do. In the ring, Triple H hits a bit high knee, but gets back body dropped. Clothesline and a power slam by Taker, which is really weird because Taker gets Triple H up on his shoulders, yeah, and you're thinking he's having to do a tombstone, but no, he does a power slam. You're like, when the fuck does Taker ever do a power slam? Michael Cole would probably call it a scoop slam because he's a fucking idiot. Flying clothesline, but old school is countered because Triple H, in clever style, in one of those, why don't more people do that sort of moves? Yeah, he's doing the old school. Triple H just pulls his arm down so he falls off, and you're just like, well, that's genius. That's really clever. Triple H starts to work the neck with elbows and a neck breaker for 2. Various times he argues with the ref, allowing Taker to recover. He hits some punches, but Triple H hits a face buster. He gets his precious sledgehammer, but the referee takes it from him. Pedigree attempts his reverse into a catapult, and the referee gets bumped. And this is one of the niggly points for this match. The referee is then down, yeah. No, he's not. Sorry, I'll come back to that one. Chokeslam only gets 2 as Taker is vexed. See, I'm getting ahead of myself there. So he attacks the referee, and this is the wrangle point. The referee is down from that point, yeah, after 2 elbow drops, yeah, forget this, 12 minutes. That takes, what, quarter of a star off this fucking show. I mean, off this match. Easily. Yeah, this is a 4.5 star match, but it's half a star taken off, yeah. Quarter of a star is because of that. That bothers the fuck out of me. They brawl through the crowd. They brawl to the tech area where Triple H just unleashes chair shots onto Taker. But he does one too many. Taker gets vexed and chokeslams him off the tower. Basically off the side. The camera angle we see is him going, wee. And you're just like, my God, where's he gone? It looks incredible. It's a great looking spot until you see the replay, which is Triple H landing on a fucking crash mat. And you're just like, that is the other quarter of a star, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. This was a 4.5 star match without those 2 little nagging things. It becomes a 4-star match. Come on, he lands on a fucking crash mat. Anyway, Triple H lays there for a while. Some EMTs try and sort him out. Undertaker gets on the frame around the tower and elbow drops on Triple H. He attacks the EMTs. He then picks up Triple H and basically batters him all the way back to the ring, which is lovely. The referee's still down now, it has to be said. Taker finds the hammer, goes to hit Triple H with it, but Hunter kicks him in the balls. He runs, Hunter gets the hammer, runs at Taker, eats a big boot, which is lovely. They exchange punches. Hunter tries a tombstone, but Taker counters it into his own, no referee. In a great spot, Triple H, basically Taker goes for the last ride, and where they're doing it, the hammer's on the floor, yeah, so Triple H gets it. Undertaker picks him up to do the last ride for him, and literally at the moment he's about to drop him, fucking Triple H smashes him in the face with the sledgehammer. Brilliant. And he falls on top of Taker and gets a damn close near fall over the 2 count. At some point Taker must have bladed him. Various punches, and then they go into the corner, Triple H is pounding on Undertaker. Undertaker calm as light, fucking last ride, 1, 2 and 3 at how long does this one go? 18 minutes. 12 minutes of that was the referee was down. And right, this is my issue, right? If they were going to do the referee being out for 12 minutes and the big brawl, why didn't they make it a no disqualification match? Now I understand that the main event was made a disqualification match. Could have been, I understand they've got the street fight on it, so in some respects it makes sense. But it bothers the fuck out of me that it was so long. 12 minutes is just a joke. It really is. But it's a great brawl. It really, really is. It's a great match. It's a 4-star match, and in my opinion, I may get heat for this one, but it kicked the shit out of the match at WrestleMania 27. But that's just me. And then, goddamn, half an hour. The main event. Main event for this one is so good. The build-up, as soon as they got rid of Deborah being Rock's manager, the build-up package to this is so good. You, of course, know the main event. Stone Cold Steve Austin defeats The Rock to win the WWF Championship. And I mean, who can forget the manager? The build-up to this one. I need to beat you, Rock. I need to beat you more than you can ever imagine. Oh, it's so dope. Also, I've mentioned this before to people, but I don't like Limp Bizkit at all. But My Way works beautifully, for this show. It really, really does, and it works even better for this build-up package, right? It works so nicely. Here we go. 2 pages of notes for this one. So much happens in this one. Alright, let's have a mouthful of Sidre before we go on. What a show. What a show. Austin's pop, as you can probably imagine, there at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, is freaking huge. I'm talking monumentally massive fucking pop. Rock's isn't even close. He gets a nice little pop, but it's not even close. Not even close. Austin starts with punches. He tries to use the belt and misses, so Rock lays the smackdown. Tazz press and an FU elbow, but Rock comes back with a neck breaker. Both men attempt their finishers and they end up on the outside. A quick brawl in the crowd, then they basically bash each other's heads into the announce table. Then into the ring with Austin hitting a superplex for 2. He takes off a turnbuckle pad. Rock lays the smackdown, hits a flying forearm and a belly-to-belly suplex for 2. On the outside, Austin nails Rock with the ring bell, and Rock does a blade job, but it's not a great one. So it's like Austin goes, look, what the fuck was that? So he does like everything in his power to open the cut. But he starts getting Rock's head and just with the announce table going bam, 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 bam. So at the end of the day, Rock does start to piss blood, so it works, But the first, that blade job was bollocks. Also, in one of those, you're a real professional. Like, your Rock drops his blade just before he does it. So you're like, oh Jesus, good work, Dwayne, real good. Rock ends up lying on the table, and Rock ends up lying on the announce table, and doesn't just lying there, and the table collapses, and you're just like, I don't know if that was meant to happen. I wonder if they had anything planned for the table. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but it ends up collapsing, which is just funny. Inside, Austin controls with punches, a choke, which Hebner, this match has been made a no disqualification match, Hebner, the idiot, tries to stop Austin choking Rock in a no disqualification match. Why? Why would you even bother? And a neck breaker for 2. Excuse me, that side is quite fizzy. He summons a mud hole, then argues with the ref, allowing Rock to explode out the corner with a clothesline. He rams Austin's head into the exposed bolt, which Austin blades, and it's a manly blade job, of course. And Rock goes out to the outside, gets the ring belt, and whacks Austin with that as well, just to be sure that Austin's busted open. That belt shot, by the way, gets just a chorus of boos. From the champion. From the champion. God damn, what's wrong with me? It's 10 to 7 in the morning. Come on. A chorus of boos from the crowd. Punches by Rock, and they end up on the outside again, where Austin catapults Rock into the ring post head first. And I'm not just saying like he did this. He went head first into the fucking ring post. Nasty stuff. Monitor shot by Austin just to make sure that Rock's really fucked up. Yeah, it's such a good match. Inside, cover gets 2 for Austin. And then, this match, had been pretty good so far, pretty good brawl. They then really, really notch it up a gear, because they do some stuff that is just so fucking brilliant. Austin tries to go for a stunner, Rock counters, drops him down into a sharpshooter, which is a great sight, because by this point, Rock is pissing blood. Austin, of course, is pissing blood anyway. So it's almost like the WrestleMania 13, but... obviously, instead of passing out from the pain, Austin manages to get to the ropes, and Rock, like the idiot fucking babyface he is, breaks the cover. Breaks the move. He doesn't have to, he just does. So Austin gets a sharpshooter of his own, and what does he do when Rock gets to the ropes? The referee's like, break the hold. He's just like, so fucking clever. But it gets better. It gets better because Austin puts $1 million dream on. He hasn't done that move for years. And they do the 1996 Survivor Series versus Bret Hart finish. Incidentally, one of my all-time favourite matches Austin versus Brett, Survivor Series 1996. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It's amazing. Basically, if you haven't seen that before, basically, Austin's got a $1 million dream on, yeah? And Brett runs up the turnbuckles, flips over so that Austin's down on his back and gets the 1, 2, 3. But this time, Austin, of course, kicks out of it. Superb little bit of storytelling there. It really does make me happy. It really, really does. Rock hits a stunner, which gets 2. You wouldn't believe the pop that Austin gets when he kicks out. It's amazing. Vince walks to the ring to the huge asshole chant, absolutely massive. Spinebuster gets 2 for Austin. Spinebuster by the Rock, followed by People's Elbow, but Vince pulls the Rock off the cover to a huge babyface pop, and you're just like, oh my god, this is unbelievable. Rock chases Vince and runs into a Rock bomb, and that gets 2. Referee gets bumped, so Austin goes low and tells Vince to get a chair. Austin holds Vince. Yeah, Austin holds Vince. Dear God, Austin holds Rock. Vince has got a chair. He comes charging Rock, and you're convinced, yeah. Rock's gonna duck. Vince is gonna hit Austin. It's all good, but no. Rock doesn't duck, he eats chair good and proper. And you're like, wow, I was not expecting that. Even JR says on commentary, I thought he'd duck. Honestly, he does. Brilliant. No ref for the cover, so Vince pulls him in, but Rock kicks out at 2. Austin can't believe it. Rock bomb, but Vince distracts the referee, so Rock batters him. Mother, and I mean seriously, the mother and father and grandmother of all stunners, yeah? Huge stunner, but it only gets 2. And it's like, what does he have to do to get the win? Austin's face is absolutely priceless. So he hits a chair, hits a massive chair shot. That only gets 2. The look between Austin and Vince is just amazing. Rock's down, but he starts to get into his feet. So Austin gets the chair and just starts battering him. Hits him with 15 chair shots easily until he's just equivalent massive jelly. 1, 2, and 3. New champion is Stone Cold Steve Austin. You probably shouldn't have to ask, but just in case, that is a straight 5. I absolutely adore this match. What I will say this, yeah, is when Austin and Vince, yeah, they have a toast, yeah, and Austin has said since this time, yeah, that if he thought about it, if he knew, yeah, if he really thought about it, he would have called an audible and he would have stunned Vince at the time, because they shouldn't have done the heel turn there. They should have done it anywhere else, but not in Texas, in my opinion. But that's, and that Austin, that's what he said. But just to make it a little bit better, Austin takes out Rock with the belt just because he can after the bell, and Austin and Vince share a beer. Amazing match. It's an incredible brawl. The crowd was so into this match. It's unfreaking believable. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is WrestleMania 17. What score do I give it? Well, if you haven't already checked in the description, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 9.75 out of 10. In my opinion, this is the best wrestling pay-per-view that has ever been. This is the best WrestleMania there's ever been. There hasn't been a WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen, that has come close to this one, in my opinion. Not even fucking close. Some people out there would say that the Great American Bash 1989 is the best pay-per-view there's ever been. Think about some of the matches you've got on it. That match that has got the Sting versus Great Muta match on it. It's got a War Games match on it. Of course, it's got the Flair versus Funk I Quit match as the main event. I think that's a great show. I love watching it, but this is still better. They end the show with an absolutely superb recap package of everything that's happened on the show, set to My Way by Limp Bizkit, which again really works. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been 10 years ago. This has been WrestleMania 17. I would love so much for you to let me know what you think or thought of WrestleMania 17 down there. The next one of these we're going to do will be, of course, in May, and we're going to do Backlash in 2001. I have been Mark P. I can't really talk properly now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Join me again next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Take it easy, guys.